Welcome to One on One, the Daily Items, a weekly digital program featuring Susquehanna Valley newsmakers interviewed by Daily Item reporters. Today's guest is Ellen Boyer, director of the Shikellamy Theater Program, interviewed by Francis Scarcella.
Get outside and clean up the yard.
Yes, dear.
Springtime means cleanup time, even at Sunbury Motors Ford. Sunbury Motors spring inventory cleanup has begun. Once a year, SMC takes their entire new Ford inventory and prices them at levels not seen before. SMC is where you want to be to choose from 44 2019 Ford Escapes. This just in, Ford Motor Company and Sunbury Motors have increased the discounts on 2019 Ford Escapes. They're slashed to the lowest price ever offered to the general public, now at an amazing $18,985. SMC is where you want to be for 2019 Ford F-150s, starting at just $25,899. And SMC has 66 in stock. SMC is where you want to be if you want a brand new 2018 Ford Focus for $14,905. Hurry in to Sunbury Motors Ford in the North 4th Street Auto Plaza.
Driving you over 100 years, Sunbury Motors.
Hi, welcome to One on One. I'm Francis Scarcella, and this week we're being joined by the legendary, the amazing Ellen Boyer. Shikellamy Forensics, Shikellamy Theater, former Shikellamy teacher, everything. You've done it all.
Former Shikellamy student.
Former Shikellamy student. You've done it all. So this has been a long time coming for you to come on here, and we've got a million phone calls and emails from students who just wanted to see your face on this today.
Okay.
So with that being said, you have a big show coming up. It's musical season across the valley, and I know personally that you go and travel and check them out all over the place, and you have your own.
We do.
What are we doing this year?
We are doing The Wiz.
Tell us what that is for people that may not know.
Well, The Wiz is an adaptation of the story of The Wizard of Oz, but it's done in a very modern, funky, kind of unusual way. It was originally done as an all-black version on Broadway back in the 80s, 1980, 81. And it's been revived. And, of course, there was Wiz Live on television a few years ago. And so it's been touted as an all-black show, but we're doing it kind of as a modern, funky, somewhat ethnic, but diverse show.
And what made you decide to do that this year? Because you've done a lot of serious.
We have done a lot of serious,
Right.
yes. We did Big River and Fiddler on the Roof and Ragtime, and the students asked if we could do something a little more fun, a little more upbeat, although they loved all of those shows. But so I thought it was time to do a really fun family musical that the whole family could come to and enjoy. We had some really great dancers, and there's a lot of wonderful dancing in The Wiz, and I thought it just really fit the students that I had. I always look at the talent that I have and what I think I can bring to the students in the way of something new that they can learn something different. Last year with Ragtime was just an amazing experience for all of us. And of course, it was the first time it was ever done anywhere in central Pennsylvania. So we were really honored to do that. The Wiz has been around, but not very many schools do it. Not very many schools have diversity and the ethnicity to even tackle it. And so we've got a very diverse cast. We even did some gender bending with some of the roles. So I said that Dorothy and Uncle Henry and Aunt Em had to be gender specific, but once she got to Oz, all bets were off. So we have some real surprises in the gender bending category.
And you have it's a big cast, right?
It is a big cast, about 40 students.
So 40 students. And
And probably another 25 to 30 that have worked on the show. So the superintendent was in the other day and he goes, "How many kids are involved?" And I said, easily we're in the 70, 75 range. Every set piece the audience will see has had student hands involved in it, in the painting, in the construction. It's really an amazing
And you were saying the set is like no
The
other.
set is magnificent. We And the set's in really great shape. We're 2 weeks out. Usually we're finishing things like crazy. But, I mean, there's still work to be done on the set and the lighting, but we're actually going to write light cues this weekend. So that's pretty exciting.
And with that, you said about the talent, and it's obvious with you, the Shikellamy is no stranger to talent and to awards and to everything else. But before we get into that, so your cast, like you said, is just so many people in there. So you got so many talented people: Cam Hare, Anna Wiest, and the list can go on and on and on.
Destiny Lopez.
Destiny Lopez. So it can go on and on and on. I mean, you could name all 75 of them, as
Right.
you said. But this is where you go into boss mode in these last 2 weeks, is from what I understand. So you start off very nice and very, fun, and let's get going. And then from what the students tell me is now they're all now they're scared. Now they come in and they're scared. So tell us about your boss mode that you go into.
Well, I hope they're not scared, but it does get to a point where we've got to really look at the business of getting the show up and running. And we have Cirque du Soleil aerial acts and spinning houses and fog machines and smoke and all sorts of special effects and special lighting and some really, really challenging dance moves and flips and aerials and tosses and tumbling and all sorts of things that need to be coordinated. And in order to do that, all of the students, all of the elements, all of the technical needs to be there. And we've had some challenges with getting people to rehearsal. We have a lot of students who have jobs, a lot of students who take class at Bloomsburg or Susquehanna, students with family commitments and illness and snow and everything else that goes into it. And so this next 2 weeks, we all need to be really committed.
Have you run the whole show yet?
No.
Through?
We have not.
Are you planning on doing that?
Soon.
Soon.
I was
All right,
hoping,
we don't want to give away any secrets.
I was hoping to run Act 1 today, but 2 key people will not be there after 4 o'clock today.
That makes it
It's a little hard.
challenging.
It makes it
challenging.
very,
Yeah.
very challenging.
Yeah.
And so that's and another thing is that the Easter holiday comes in the middle of these last 2 weeks of tech. So, I want the students to have time with their families and do all of the things that they would normally do to celebrate. And so we're trying to work around. And I've always been really open to students being involved in other activities as well as the shows. But then now we're getting down to the nitty gritty, and
We're one of the
we've got to
last-
get coordinated.
We're one of the last shows. Shikellamy
We
is one of
are,
the last
we
shows.
are.
So
I
what
think
have you
Milton
seen
is
so?
also doing
What
theirs
have you
that
seen
weekend.
so far as traveling around? It's obvious there's a lot of talent.
Yeah,
all
there's
over.
talent in every district. I saw Mamma Mia at Central Columbia, which was an excellent production. I saw Beauty and the Beast at Selinsgrove. They did a really good job. And if all goes well, I'm going to see Music Man at Midwest tonight. And I heard wonderful things about Shamokin's Les Mis. I didn't get to see that. And I saw Little Shop up
When
at,
you walk in, do they put out
Loyal
the,
Sock.
do they put out the red carpet?
They know I'm
'Cause
there.
They know
which
you're there.
Makes me
Everybody-
nervous.
they make
I
you're
don't
there.
like that. But
Well, we're going to
usually
get
they
into,
know
we're going
I'm
to take a
there.
break, but when we come back, we're going to get into, because this is not, it's a costly thing for the students. It's a costly thing for the school district. So we're going to get into all that and what you go through on a daily basis. So we'll be right back with Ellen Boyer.
Get outside and clean up the yard.
Yes, dear.
Springtime means cleanup time, even at Sunbury Motors Ford. Sunbury Motors spring inventory cleanup has begun. Once a year, SMC takes their entire new Ford inventory and prices them at levels not seen before. SMC is where you want to be to choose from 44 2019 Ford Escapes. This just in, Ford Motor Company and Sunbury Motors have increased the discounts on 2019 Ford Escapes. They're slashed to the lowest price ever offered to the general public, now at an amazing $18,985. SMC is where you want to be for 2019 Ford F-150s, starting at just $25,899. And SMC has 66 in stock. SMC is where you want to be if you want a brand new 2018 Ford Focus for $14,905. Hurry into Sunbury Motors Ford in the North 4th Street Auto Plaza.
Driving you over 100 years, Sunbury Motors.
We're back with Ellen Boyer, the magnificent, the boss, the whole 9 yards they call you. You talked about the Wiz, and the dates on that are
April 25th, 26th, and 27th at 7 o'clock. And then we have a matinee on Sunday the 28th at 2. So People
And
have 4
cost.
chances.
And cost.
The premium tickets are $10, and that's, if you've ever been in the Shikellamy Auditorium, that's the entire center section and the best of the seats on the side. So if people can afford it, I highly recommend to purchase the $10 tickets. We also have $8 seats, and they are the far back and the far outside aisles of the side
Yeah,
section.
there's no bad seat in the house.
There really
There
isn't.
no
And
bad seat
and in
the
this
house.
show, there's so much to look at that it's kind of nice to be. A lot of people like to sit right up front, and up front you get to see the actors' faces and their eyes and be really in touch with them. But from the back, you get to see the whole picture and all of the magnificent sets and effects, and we use the aisles, so the show really takes place all around you. And we have some wonderful parents who are working on some surprises for the lobby, so people are going to get an experience from the moment they walk in the door before they've ever even gone in the auditorium.
And we would expect nothing less from you. But
So it's going to be fun.
but let's talk about, so it's a costly show to put on.
It is a costly show.
What's the
Every
average
show
what's
is
the average cost of a show to put on?
Well, usually before we ever build a piece of scenery, sew a costume, anything, it's about $5,000 just to look at the rights and get the rental, the scripts, and the opportunity to perform it. So rights generally run between, if you're really, really lucky, you might get something for about $3,500, $4,000. But mostly
It's
it's
probably
about
an agent
five.
calling her. I mean,
Yeah,
she
they're
just gets them all
calling
the
me.
time.
It's my lighting guy. Okay. Anyway, so that goes into it. We can spend easily 10 to 15 on a show.
And you're not funded by the school district.
No, no.
So you guys are all self-funded.
Our theater is self-sufficient, and each year we try to purchase. Last year we had a major purchase with microphones, and we did have some wonderful benefactors who helped us with that. This year we've added lighting equipment. Every show I try to enrich the theater program.
And we heard you're a pack rat, and you have costumes from all over the place
I
and
do.
everywhere. And
I do. Well,
and
we
I think
did the show.
I'm going to give you a little secret from what I understand with the students. When you leave or take a break, they get rid of stuff that they don't
that
think
I
they
don't
need,
know
that you don't know. And you'll
well,
never
let me
know
tell
it's
you. You
missing.
want to hear a funny story?
Yeah,
though?
absolutely.
Okay, we did The Wiz 10 years ago, and Caleb Wirtz, who is playing a major role in the show, was in kindergarten. It
I
was
heard
the
it's-
first show he
I heard it's
ever
fun.
saw. It's really fun. The first show he ever saw. And he had his program from that show 10 years ago. So that was kind of fun. But anyway, we're using some of the costumes from that show, and some have been newly created for this production. But I was digging in a bin of scrap fabric, and Anna always teases me that I save everything. I actually found scraps from the costumes I made 10 years ago that we needed to enrich the costumes we were doing now. So it was kind of fun. The
moral of the
moral
story is
is,
you know what you're talking
don't
about.
argue
Don't
with
throw
the
your-
boss
no, no.
when she wants to save stuff. So
But it is a struggle for you to get the funding and to do all that kind of
it
stuff.
always
So-
is, and more than that, it's the students work so hard that they deserve to have a huge audience there. So it's, I would like to say, yeah, it's wonderful to make the money back, and we've been fortunate over the years that we've been able to balance the budget or get ahead of the game. And some shows make a lot more money than others, and they give us the opportunity to do shows that maybe don't sell as well, but they're a great learning experience for the students and a great opportunity for the community. This show, I guarantee you, a great deal of fun. Every member of the family will find something that they will enjoy in this show. So people really need to try to mark their calendars and come out and support these students.
And I'm sure
it is just, you will be amazed when you see them.
And I'm sure you'll be at the award ceremonies getting all the awards like Shikellamy.
Well,
always
actually,
does
I'll
every
be in
year.
Milwaukee, so I won't be at the awards
So you
this
won't-
year.
okay, well, it's a
I'll be at nationals.
It's a constant, always
Yeah.
winning.
Well,
but with that being,
I think there's wonderful theater throughout the Valley, and I think that there are many, many, many talented students and deserving students. I think it's awesome that the Community Theater League does have the awards program simply to showcase the talent that is here in the Valley.
the rumor is you're the winningest coach in Shikellamy history out of everything.
Well,
out of everything.
Really?
Sports
Really?
included.
No kidding.
but
I
that's
didn't
what they
know
say. We're
that.
the
I mean, I
winningest-
knew I'd won more one-act plays than
Yes,
than
so-
anybody in the state, but that's, kind of my thing. So.
But with all of that being said, and again the financial struggles that it is, what would be your message to the community to support local theaters, to support it all, and then the big question. So I'm going to give you a two-part question
Okay.
to end this with.
Oh no.
How much longer do we get to see Ellen Boyer as the boss of the department?
Okay, well, let me answer the first one. I think what the arts teaches students, and especially with forensics and speech, I know they're lifelong lessons. They are things that, whether they want to perform again after they leave high school or whether they just go into the workplace, that time on stage, that time working as a community to create a project like this, and the artistic value that goes into it, that translates into better workers, better parents, better community members, better, church family, everything. It goes into every aspect of their lives. They can take lessons that they've learned on the stage at Shikellamy Theater and take it into whatever career they pursue, take it into their relationships
And that makes you proud
family.
when you see
And it makes
yeah.
me incredibly proud. And what I like the most is when a student comes back from school and tells me that they're really happy, whatever they're doing, whatever their pursuits. But when they find that they've really found joy and they love the work that they're doing. And I always say to students that say, oh, I think I might like to go into the theater, or I might like to do this professionally. You got to enjoy the work, because it's easy to enjoy the performance. It's enjoying the work along the way that makes you a pro. That's really what it's all about.
And with that advice, how much longer do students get to get that advice?
Well, as long as I'm healthy and the students are willing to, have me there and
So
work
you have
with
no
them.
plans on going anywhere?
I have no plans on going anywhere. The big guy might have plans for me that I don't know about. But at this point, I'm healthy and I can still do it. And as long as we have support, as long as I have support from the students, we have wonderful support from the administration. As long as we have support and the parents and the students, and especially the community wants us to continue, I'll try to continue.
Perfect. Don't forget, dates.
April 25th, 26th, 27th, 7 o'clock p.m.
And you can get your
April
tickets where?
28th at 2. They can call the high school at 570-286-3760. They can purchase at the door, but I'll tell you right now, especially Friday night, if they want to sit anywhere near the center, they need to get their tickets ordered very, very soon.
Perfect. So good luck to you. We
Thank
can't wait
you.
to see it. I know we'll have clips on dailyitem.com.
Thank you. I hope so. I hope
we,
everybody comes out and sees the show.
we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching One on One. Be sure to tune in next week for another edition.